Hello everyone, this is Jordan with Saber Props. I'm here to show you another lightsaber install I've gone ahead and done. This is an ISD threshold from Illuminated Saber Designs. I absolutely love their hilts. Now, they are a seller on Etsy and they make very unique lightsaber hilts. This one, I absolutely love it. I saw Shamim install this one about 2 years ago, it seems now. And I've always wanted to get my hands on one since then, and I got on my hands on this one just in time for my best friend's graduation from West Point. This is designed, or this was done, to kind of replicate his class ring. I got it because of the brass accents, but we also have some unique bits here. We have a green and white LED. You know, not super unique, but what they do is they go ahead and they kind of replicate the emerald and the inset diamond for his class ring. I absolutely love this hilt, very Episode 2 Anakin-esque. It's nice and thick and it has a lot of ballast to it, but it's not too thick. It's still slender enough in the right areas where you get a good roll off of it, where you can hold it comfortably without having bits get into you. You have these machined grips right here, which are part of the lower half. They're metal and they're part of the saber, and the anodizing on them is perfect, not a spot off. It's really gorgeous. I installed the CoverTech wheel on this one for a belt clip. It doesn't come with one installed, so you can go ahead and add it wherever you'd like, or you can add a D-ring if you so choose. Now let's go ahead and turn it on real quick. Take a look. This is my custom blade plug for it. Now, something very nice about the Saber is that it has a crystal chamber in it. This hilt was not at all in any way designed to hold a crystal chamber. There was a lot of modification that went into it in order to get it. A lot of machining on the actual hilt itself under this brass section, which you can take off in order to go ahead and achieve that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chassis, the lower chassis. Now, the thing about ISD is that their threads are very long, very secure, but they have some very long threads. So let's leave that right there. So here is your chassis. We have two accent red LEDs, some 3mm LEDs blinking right here. We have the Goth 3D chassis design. The board is actually under this panel right here. You can kind of see it in there. We have access to our SD card down here. You don't really have a whole lot of access to the micro USB slot on the Crystal Focus 10 with this chassis, but I've loaded this up with 28 sound fonts, the 32 colors, blade profiles, all the works, so you'll never really have to work on it yourself if you feel like it. So let's go ahead and take off the actual emitter section as well. This is where the crystal chamber is. Now, the crystal chamber is a heavily modified, or not modified, but custom piece. It uses a few imperial, what would be circle signets. The ones that you find on the top of an imperial officer's hat. I have one right here. But my friend Austin gave those to me. This was paperwork for him, and I thought it'd be best to use them in his own saber. So here's your crystal chamber, custom cut, polished, and faceted quartz crystal. As you can kind of see, the crystal chamber goes in pretty deep. No real exposed wiring, so it gives the full feel of a whole crystal chamber, you know. Even though you really only see this bit, you can kind of look in there and you get a lot. So there you go. Now this blade, this crystal chamber is a common anode, so it's wired in parallel with the actual blade itself. So any effects that you get on the blade, you also get on the crystal chamber. Now let's go ahead and turn it off for a sec. Now this hilt is very good for dueling, but the polish on this, the coating on the emitter part, is different than the coating on here. This is just brushed aluminum, and it's very nicely polished, but this has a kind of nickel coating on it, which makes it, you can kind of see how reflective it is in there. It's not too reflective, but it's got such a smoothness to it. It's very unique. You don't want to ding that. So I highly suggest no real heavy dueling if you get yourself one of these hilts. Now, we talked about how custom the install was because there's no room at all for the crystal chamber, but we wanted one. That's the amount of space your blade gets inside the hilt. So you don't have a lot of space. You really don't. There you go. Now let's turn light off. Light 1. Light on. Light 2. Now this is kind of dim because there's no real reflective film in here. This is actually just a regular opaque blade this time around. Unlike my usual small blade, I can't find that. I misplaced it. So I only have this regular one without a reflective film, but you still get the effect. Very nice to swing. It's so smooth. You can feel the sound vibrate out of the hilt. It gives you a full energy vibration feel without actually needing to have an energy vibration motor. Some companies will sell you on an energy vibration rumble motor. I would never get one, ever. I would never go for it. The motor itself doesn't rumble to the actual vibration of the sound, but when you have a high bass speaker in here, like a Saber Centrals, you really feel it throughout the hilt. Especially if you put your hand over the recharge port, where it's kind of open in there, really get the feel, and nothing can compare. It feels like you have a live lightsaber in your hand. Spectrum. If we're talking about Anakin from episode 2, we gotta get a dark blue. Now, let's go ahead and take this out. So there's your Illuminated Sabers threshold with a crystal chamber. Very, very unique hilt. It is so reminiscent of an episode 1 Anakin hilt. It's got the ballast of one, the heft of one. It's not super heavy, but you can really feel it in your hands. But it's a cut above. It's the hilt that if Anakin never lost his in episode 2, he would not have made the Graflex. He would have adapted his lightsaber for wartime efforts, and this is probably what it would have become. You of course would have the bubble strip or a clamp card here rather than just 2 big buttons, but this hilt is perfect. I highly suggest if you ever have the opportunity to pick up one of these, do it. ISD needs all of the support that he deserves. Now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a nice day. May the Force serve you well.